Hello and welcome to the Vital Blend. My name is Anthony Vita, and in this episode, I'm going to be showing you how to reverse type 2 diabetes with a change in diet. And I work with men in helping them to lose weight, just like I did many years ago, lost 50 pounds. And losing weight is the key to reversing type 2 diabetes, which is why a lot of men need to lose weight. Goes for women too, certainly affects everyone. And losing weight and diabetes go hand in hand because fat is at the root cause of type 2. And I try to get to the root cause of issues so that you can resolve them. Because if you don't do it and you just take a pill, let's say, or you put on a Band-Aid, you're never going to get there. It's like you're running on ice. Like this guy, he's running on ice. He thinks he's going to get to where he's going, but he's not. And this is the way it is with people taking pills and taking medications for type 2. It's addressing the symptoms, artificially lowering the blood sugar, but not getting to the root cause. And the root cause of type 2 diabetes is fat. People think that it's sugar, but sugar is really more of a symptom than the actual root cause. And I'm going to explain all of that coming up in just a little bit, in addition to exactly what you can do. But I want to let you know that if you've got type 2, it can lead to some pretty serious issues. Like for instance, you may have heard of something called diabetic neuropathy. And this is where you run the risk of losing your limbs, maybe even losing your eyesight. You know, when certain parts of your body aren't getting the right blood flow, they're not getting the right amount of oxygen, they're not getting the nutrients that they need, and they start to go dark, they start to get numb, and they start to lose the sensation. You get tingling in your fingers or in your toes, and you can start to lose your eyesight. So we're talking about amputation and blindness, okay? This is very, very serious stuff. And then there's heart disease. The number one reason why someone with type 2 diabetes passes away, it's from damaged arteries to your heart. And I'm going to explain how having high blood sugar for an extended period of time can damage your arteries. And of course, if you can damage arteries to your heart, you can damage arteries to your brain. Dementia is another side effect of type 2, kidney damage. And then, of course, there's the medication that you might be taking for type 2. You know, it comes with side effects. It could be as easy as an upset stomach, or it could be as serious as heart failure. You know, and what if you're mixing these drugs with other drugs to lower your cholesterol or to lower your blood pressure, which is fairly common? You know, what are the side effects of all these drugs working with each other inside of your body? Sometimes people take pills for the side effects caused by other pills, and you can see how this is a slippery slope. You're running on ice, like that guy that I showed you earlier. I see people going through this all the time for years and years. And it can be very, very dangerous. Now, I'm also going to show you how you can get away from this entire mess. It's important to understand how our body works. You know, we run off of sugar. Our body uses glucose and sugar for energy. That's what we feed our muscle cells with. This is something that we use for walking, talking, blinking, thinking. Everything that we do requires energy, okay? And this is what our cells do. They need energy, and they get it from the sugar, the glucose that's running through our bloodstream. So let's say we eat a potato, which is a complex carbohydrate. Our body breaks it down into simple sugars. It feeds our muscle cells, but it needs help. It needs insulin created by our pancreas. Think of it like this. The insulin that our pancreas creates is like a key. All right, and our muscle cells are the lock. And in order for the sugar to get into the muscle cells, it's like a key getting into a lock. And as long as that's all working perfectly fine, we are healthy and normal and running as we should. So what happens when the key can't get into the lock? All right, the lock is all gummed up. Well, we can't get in. We're stuck. Kind of like what happens with our body. The sugar can't get into our cell, because the key, the insulin, is not effective. It's called insulin resistance. And what causes that is too much fat. Too much fat inside the cell is gumming up the works, and the key, or the insulin, is not working the way it should. So what happens? Well, the sugar can't get in. So it hangs out in the bloodstream. Blood sugar goes up. This is where people think that sugar is the cause of type 2 because the blood sugar is high. Well, As you can see from what I just told you, sugar is not the problem. Sugar is the symptom. Having high blood sugar is a symptom that the insulin is not working right, that something is wrong with the muscle cells. Too much fat has gummed up the cells. And so what you have to do is you have to get rid of the fat. You drain the fat out of the cells so the insulin can go back to working normally. It can be that key to unlock the cell, to let the sugar in. This is the way it should work normally. So what do you need to do to reverse type 2? Well, based on what I just told you, you need a low-fat diet, okay? A high-fat diet is what gets people into this bad position in the first place. Too much meat, too much cheese, too much oil, too many processed foods, too many animal foods. This gums up our cells, and it winds up creating insulin resistance, which leads to type 2 diabetes. You want to replace these foods with plant foods filled with starchy vegetables like potatoes, rice, beans, and corn, and whole grains, oatmeal, quinoa, and fruits. These foods are high in fiber, they are high in nutrients, and they are low in fat. All right, so you eat this way and you get rid of the animal foods and the oils, the high fat foods. The fat will start to drain out of your muscle cells. The insulin will start to do its job and your blood sugar will go down. Okay, this is the way it works. This is to be expected. But, I can sit here and talk all day, but you have to do it. If you do it, these are the results that you can expect, okay? And this is like clockwork, all right? Here are some examples. Look at Donna. She was type 2 for 2 years, and she came off her meds, changed to a plant-based diet. She even got off her blood pressure meds that she was on for 25 years, and you can expect that too. When you get your weight handled, you can get type 2 handled, you'll lower your cholesterol, and you'll lower your blood pressure. It works. This is the way it works. And how about Greg? Now, actually, he follows the Vital Blend over on Facebook, and he was diabetic for years, changed his diet to plants, and now it's all behind him. Greg is doing really, really well now. And then there's Susan. How about Susan? She had type 2 diabetes for years, suffered for years, finally reversed it on a plant-based diet. And when she found out the truth, like what I'm telling you now, this is what she had to say. She felt, along with her husband, we felt angry, betrayed, and so misled. And you know what? Susan has every right to be angry and upset. I mean, look, the kind of conversation that I'm having with you now is the same kind of talk that a doctor should be having with his patient that has type 2. Should be letting them know how their body works and how a change in diet can reverse their type 2, how the medications that they'll be put on have side effects. People need to be told this. They need to be told that there is a way out if you change the way that you eat. And if they're not being told this, then doctors are not doing their job. Now, I'll tell you one doctor that I really do admire. That's Dr. Michael Clapper. And this is what he had to say, very interesting, about having too much sugar in your bloodstream. Now, he's talking about eating sugar as a food, like eating a lot of donuts and cookies and candies. And this also goes for having high blood sugar, where there's a lot of sugar hanging out in the bloodstream. As like I showed you earlier, sugar can't get in, the lock's not working. So what happens? Blood sugar goes up, and this can be a problem. Here's what he says. He says, within minutes, your bloodstream is flooded with sugar. Soon, the structural proteins in all your tissues, the elastic fibers of your skin, the hemoglobin in your blood, the filter membranes in your kidneys, the inner lining of your blood vessels, the lenses of your eyes, all get sticky with sugar. In the 98.6 metabolic oven of our body, the sugars and proteins melt together and oxidize like the browning of bread crust, called the Maillard reaction. You know what Dr. Clapper just said here, it fits in perfectly with what I was saying earlier, and how when your blood sugar stays high for too long, it can damage your organs, it can damage your pathways. your blood vessels, your arteries, they can become compromised. No coincidence that the leading cause of death for someone with type 2 is heart disease, seemingly an unrelated disease, but it just goes to show you that when you have one disease that incurs so much damage, it can actually lead to another more serious disease. So if you know someone that is struggling with type 2, you might want to share this video with them. Chances are they're not getting this information from their own doctor. All right. And if you're someone struggling with type 2, then I just want you to know that I am here to help you. Okay. This is what I do. I help people to lose weight. I help people to reverse their high cholesterol, their high blood pressure. And when you go on a whole food, plant-based diet, low fat, you can reverse your type 2 diabetes. Okay, this is to be expected. And if you need help, get on my calendar. I have a free 1-hour consultation. I'll be glad to talk to you. We can talk about the next steps and what you need to get this going. Go over to Facebook, The Vital Blend on Facebook, facebook.com/The Vital Blend, and I'll be glad to connect with you there too. If you have reversed your type 2 on a whole food plant-based diet, let me know. Drop it in the comments below. You may help inspire someone, actually change or save someone's life. All right, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Be sure to hit that subscribe button too. More videos are coming your way. All right, so until next time, take care of yourself and don't forget to eat more plants. I'll see you soon.